Oh, hi everyone. My name is King Reed from Reading Land. Before we go on with our story, could I request all of you to like and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with our reading adventures? Thank you, everyone. King Reed, hi. Hi, Mama Biba. Ooh, what are you doing here with us today? Well, I was really missing your stories, so I thought I'd take some time off from looking after Reading Land and come and listen to you read a lovely story. Oh, that's amazing, King Reed. That's so great that you're here today. Oh, what book are we going to read today, Mama Biba? Today, we're going to be reading a special book. A special book? Yes, it will be a book that will be in rhyme. In rhyme? Like poetry? A story with poetry? Yep. Oh, that sounds fun. Ooh, okay, what's it called? It's called The Goat That Gloats. The goat? Hey, that goat has a crown on his head. Yep, this goat is a king just like you, King Reed. Ooh. What does gloat mean, Mama Biba? Well, gloat means to show off in a mean and selfish way that you have more than others and that you're very happy about it. That doesn't seem like a good thing to do at all. Nope, that's not a nice thing to do at all. And you'll see the misunderstanding that happens in the story with everyone and this goat. Oh, okay, let's read then, Mama Biba. Okay, King Reed. The Goat That Gloats, written by Leyland Perrie and illustrated by Joelle Dreidemy. Whee! The Goat That Gloats. Ooh, that's a sad-looking goat there. It is. On a throne made of stone at the top of a tower, counting the minutes of each passing hour, feeling bored and ignored for days without end, lived a goat who was lonely. He wanted a friend. This goat was unhappy with sitting alone, way up in his tower on his cold, hard throne. So out of his window he started to bleat to the people who bustled below in the street. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat. I've a throne in a tower with a bubble bath moat. But the people below called back over the moat, who'd want to be friends with the gloating goat? The goat scratched his head with his hoof and he frowned. What must he do to make friends in this town? So he shouted again, without even so much as a smile or hello. That's not nice. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat, for I own a fast car and a fabulous boat. But the people below called back over the moat, who'd want to be friends with a gloating goat? Now, the goat was beginning to get quite upset, understandably so, that no one would want to be friends with him yet. So he jumped to his hooves and reached for his net, and quickly he scooped up Fernando, his pet. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat, for Fernando, my pet, is the world's smartest stoat. But the people below called back over the moat, Who'd want to be friends with a gloating goat? Once more, the goat, who was stricken with grief, came away from the window to Fernando's relief. He recaged his pet before he got bitten, then burst into verse with a song that he'd written. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat, for that little ditty was one that I wrote. But the people below called back over the moat, who'd want to be friends with a gloating goat? Yep. Now, the goat was about to sing one more verse, but his run of bad luck took a turn for the worse. He took a deep breath and let loose with such force that his voice gave right out. He had bragged himself hoarse. Oh! The people below in the street clapped and cheered, and the goat whimpered miserably into his beard. Why don't they like me? Why don't they care? When all of my riches I'm willing to share. Oh, now I kind of get the misunderstanding. Meanwhile, the people began to feel bad for teasing the goat in the way that they had. He might be annoying for gloating all day, but all that aside, he was kind of okay. So they lifted their heads to the tower and they tried to talk to the goat who was holed up inside, for they thought that he'd make a good friend sure enough, if only he promised to stop showing off. The goat heard them calling his name and he jumped up out of his throne with such joy that he bumped his horns on a beam jutting out of the ceiling. It was several hours before they regained feeling. Oh, poor thing. But he couldn't talk with that pain in his throat. He struggled to utter much more than a note. A note? Why, that's it. So he went one step better, sat down at his desk, and he wrote them a letter. At last he was finished. To the window he went, and there with his letter he carefully bent, and folded the paper to form a small plane, whilst all the time hoping that it wouldn't rain. That's funny. Whizz went the letter out into the blue. Ah, went the people below. Also, ooh, as circling steadily over the street, it finally came to a rest at their feet. What wonderful friends you would make, went the note, for this foolish old goat with a very sore throat. I am really sorry. I really did not mean to brag, but loneliness can be a terrible drag. Now I got to thinking, sat here on my chair, what use are nice things if they cannot be shared? I would take great delight in knowing you better, and that is the reason I'm sending this letter. And the people below called back over the moat, of course we'll be friends with you, silly old goat. That was a lovely story, Mama Biba. I'm glad you liked it, King Reed. Thanks for reading with us, everyone. That's all for today. Now that I think about it, The poor old goat just wanted friends. He wasn't gloating because he had things, but he was gloating about his things because he wanted to share it with everyone and be friends. What a great misunderstanding that can be. Oh well. If you liked reading the story with us, please hit the like button and the subscribe button to keep up with our reading adventures. Bye bye everyone. Do 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 do.